This week we are focusing on your health. Today we're talking about the GP shortage as it's reported 1 in 4, this is scandalous, 1 in 4 visits to A&E are made by people who simply can't get a doctor's appointment. Now, another survey has revealed that only 38% of patients are able to see the preferred family doctor. 10 years ago, that would have been about 65%. Well, Dr Hilary and Dr Amir are back with us. Hilary, loads of people may know this, and you know this, struggling to see their GP, struggling to get a face-to-face appointment, if they can get an appointment at all.
Yeah.
What is the best way to go about this?
I think the first thing to do is get straight on the phone first thing in the morning, try and book that appointment. You might have to be patient, you might have to hang on. A lot of people are doing the same because we've got fewer GPs than we had in 2015, right. 4,200 fewer GPs, which means that each of those would have had 2,000 patients. That's 8.5 million patients.
I can't believe that.
Trying to see a reducing number of doctors. That's the problem. Anyway, get on the phone immediately in the morning, as soon as the phone line's open. And once you get through, explain clearly and concisely to the receptionist what it is you want that appointment for. Okay. If it's urgent, explain it's urgent. Be frank. The receptionist is under the same conditions of confidentiality as the doctor. So explain your problem clearly and concisely, and they will book you in as soon as they possibly can with the GP.
Right, but oftentimes you get, there isn't an appointment until 3 weeks on Tuesday. That's the trouble. Then, is it quite a good idea to write things down?
Oh, absolutely.
Then? Just write it down. Because I always find that really helps me.
Yes.
If you just make even be bullet points so that you don't forget anything.
That time when you're actually going to talk to your GP, whether it's on the phone, on a video link or in the surgery face-to-face, if you've pre-prepared what it is you want to say, what are your main concerns? What's the priority? What do you want to get out of the consultation? If you've written it down, it saves a lot of time because many people find it difficult to get to the point.
Yes.
You know, that they're worried about something and they say, well, it all started 2 years ago. We don't need to hear all that necessarily. No, we want, what is it today that you need to see me about? When did it start? What makes it better? What makes it worse? What are your concerns? Do you have anything in your mind that's worrying you? What have you done so far to treat? All these things really help to save the time. You know, I think we call it the golden minute. Amir's nodding his head. The golden minute is where you explain the main problem, where you can get right to focus on the issue at hand immediately. Saves the doctor's time, makes his job easier, saves your time as well.
Because, Amir, you're a little bit like a detective. You've got to try and suss out what's going on, and oftentimes there's sort of different levels, and it's only when you get to the end of the consultation you actually find out what the real problem is. From your experience as a GP, first of all, what's the best way to get, as Hilary was saying, getting on the phone early, and we all try to do that. What else can you do? And what sort of advice would you give to secure an appointment in the first place?
Yeah, so I agree with Hilary. Getting on the phone is really important, but that isn't the only way to get an appointment now. You can go online in many surgeries. Their website will navigate you towards an appointment, and there are other ways to... if you can't get a face-to-face, you can get a telephone appointment as well, and a lot of surgeries are using the online system. So I know lots of people might not be online savvy, but if you know a family or a friend who can do that for you, they can book an online appointment for you as well. Right. And I think what Hilary said about speaking to the receptionist about what your problem is, lots of people really don't want to tell the receptionist what's wrong with them. I hear that a lot. They go, why do I have to tell them? They're not doctors. Well, they are bound by the same confidentiality that I am, but also we don't call them receptionists anymore. We call them care navigators, because general practice, primary care, is made up of so many more clinicians than just doctors. Your problem might be better off seen by a physio, by a nurse practitioner, even by one of our midwives who works here at our surgery. So if you give a clear idea to what your problem is, our care navigators, otherwise known as receptionists, can navigate you to the best clinician. And you're not being fobbed off. This is really important. You're not being fobbed off. It's not that, we don't want you to see a doctor. You're seeing an expert in their own field for your problem.
Right, gotcha.
And Hilary's absolutely right. When you do come in...
Yeah, no, write it down.
Do write down.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. What if you've got lots and lots of things that you want to discuss? Because sometimes people do that. They sort of wait to go to the doctors, and then they've kind of got, we talked about a list, they've kind of got quite a big list, and there maybe won't be enough time to talk about it all.
yeah, make that list and put it in priority order. So this is the number one thing I want to talk about, and these are the other things. Tell the receptionist that as well, and if it's possible, they may make you a double appointment, so 20 minutes. It doesn't sound like a lot of time, but that's a lot of time for us, it's a luxury. But then show that list right at the start of your appointment to your clinician and say, look, these are the things I want to talk about. Don't wait until one thing's sorted and then move on to the next thing, because you'll run out of time that way. And that way, you and that clinician can negotiate between you which are the most important things. Because what might be important to you, when the doctor or clinician looks at it, it may not be the most clinically urgent. Right. So the two of you together can work out what the best plan is. And if you do run out of time, you can ask for a follow-up appointment for some of the non-urgent things.
No, exactly. And Hilary, there is this thing about if you can't get an appointment and you're worried, especially if maybe it's your children or an elderly relative, or you're worried about yourself, that you go to A&E, and of course that clogs up A&E. It might be that you have to go. This is the thing, but
yes,
probably 9 times out of 10 you don't.
You've also got 111 you can contact for advice. And, obviously, if you think it's urgent and potentially life-threatening, or it's an accident or an emergency, then A&E is there for you as well. Coming back to that point about priority, a lot of people, we've talked about issues which are quite embarrassing, that people find embarrassing to talk about. Making that list of priorities is really important, because if you've got a problem that you find embarrassing and you leave it to the bottom of the list, you've had your consultation with the GP, time's up, you get to the door, and then you say, oh, while I'm here, doctor, it's that embarrassing thing. We call it a hand on the knob moment.
Oh, OK. And that's very appropriate.
Very appropriate indeed.
Yes.
Get the priorities
door
out
handle
first.
Moment, door handle moment.
No, I call it hand on the, hand on the knob moment. That's what it is. And get it out and talk to the GP about the problem. Exactly. That's important. But yeah, look, 5 million people missed out on an appointment with the GP last October, but 1 million missed their appointment, didn't turn up.
Oh,
so some are urgent, some are not.
Yeah.
And we need to sift through those and get people to use the system.
Please. Plea from the heart, plea from the heart. If you've got an appointment, if you're lucky enough to get an appointment, a face-to-face appointment, for goodness sake, go, because you're stopping someone else. Thank you both. Thank you both very much indeed. Tomorrow, back with advice on how to get the best from your pharmacy. And later on in the week, our two doctors will be running an open clinic, answering all your questions. We'd love to hear from you. Do email us, as usual, at lorraine@itv.com by midday on Thursday if you can. Anything you're worried about at all.